Hello everyone, and on Thursday we got a new Nintendo Direct, which I had no expectations for going in, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that we got quite a lot of big announcements, and so I just wanted to give my thoughts on those announcements after the fact, and what we can expect going forward. So yeah, let's just dive right into it. So the Direct opened up with an announcement for the DLC of Monster Hunter Rise called Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which, might I say, just is an awesome name. Like, they actually bothered to give it a name as opposed to like Breath of the Wild, for example, where they just called it the DLC. Like, each of the individual quests had names, but this one actually is given a proper name. It's called Sunbreak, which I really like, and the DLC looks really cool, but they haven't really shown us much, just a cinematic trailer. But I'm excited for more content in this game because I enjoy its mechanics quite a lot, and as well as its progression. I haven't finished everything this game has to offer because it's just so deep of an experience, but I'm hoping to do so before the DLC does come out so I can enjoy it upon release. The next major announcement we got was it wasn't a major announcement, but it was an announcement I did want to talk about, was Voice of Cards from Square Enix, which looked really cool. It's basically a tabletop RPG, but on your screen, and the game is entirely told through cards, so you have a little icon that'll move over cards of land and water, and battles will be conducted between the cards. It looked awesome, and I think it's a fresh concept that I haven't really seen before in video games, and I'm really excited to see this come to life on my Switch. I haven't played too many game RPGs outside of Pokemon, so I think this will be a cool way to get into it, especially because I play a lot of tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons, so I think this will be a really fun experience, especially if you haven't played RPGs on your screen much, but you have on your tabletop, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Next up was they gave us some more information on the Age of Calamity DLC. Looks cool. I mean, I didn't buy the game, so I can't really talk much about it, but they did say that they're adding Pura and Robbie as a duo character, which looks cool. I'm sure it'll freshen up the game mechanics for those who enjoyed playing the game, but for me, it doesn't really mean much. But yeah, it looks cool. And next was one of my favorite announcements of this whole presentation, was Chocobo GP from Square Enix. So it's basically Mario Kart, but Final Fantasy, which is hilarious to me, especially because of my experience with the Final Fantasy series kind of just boils down to Cloud's appearances in Smash and very basic basic knowledge of what happens in the games in terms of like the themes and mechanics. And a game like this, and just the way the characters are presented, just does not seem like it's in line with what I know from the Final Fantasy series, and I just think it's hilarious. And apparently this game had a previous release too on, I think it was PlayStation 3 maybe, but that's crazy to me that this is like, they're actually making Final Fantasy Kart is basically what it is, and it looks like it's going to be hilarious and a lot of fun. I can imagine the meme lords are going to be out in full force for this one, because you can roller skate as a chicken, and I think it's actually going to be well done, because I've seen people play Garfield Kart. Like, that is a poorly programmed kart racing game. This is done by Square Enix, so I'm expecting more from it, but I also think it's going to be very funny and also very good. The next thing they announced was the Smash DLC. They said they're going to announce who's going to be the last fighter in a couple weeks. I think it's October 5th is the date they set out. And yeah, I'm excited for the announcement. I have no idea who it's going to be. I know I've seen Sora going around, Crash, of course, and Sandbag and Master Hand, or some that I thought could be possible just because they might want to make it a Smash exclusive character. That'd be cool, but yeah, I have absolutely no idea who's going to be the final Smash fighter, but I hope that it's going to be something big, because the way they've been playing it up, especially now, they're announcing that it's going to be announced in a few weeks. They haven't really done that in a direct before. They would normally just lead off with the Smash announcement. So I have a feeling they're at least hyping it up like it's going to be a big character. So hopefully it is. Next was a big one. This was Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This was probably my personal favorite announcement of the whole Direct. It's the Kirby game we've all been asking for many, many years. It's a completely open world 3D Kirby game. It looks really, really awesome. It, like I said, completely open world, and so it looks like it's taking place in a post-apocalyptic setting. They show a couple shots of Kirby roaming around in an abandoned mall with like vegetation growing around in it. That looks really cool. It doesn't really fit the previous Kirby vibe of like happy and bubbly that we've known before. So if they go for something that's maybe a little darker, I would really love that. And it also looks really good. It doesn't look like, it's not like it looks like next gen or anything, but the graphics look really crisp. Kirby looks like he moves really fluidly, and the platforming seemed like it was a pretty big aspect of the trailer as well. They showed a lot of Kirby jumping around and kind of using some different moves. So hopefully this kind of combines platforming and combat in a way that we haven't really seen before. I've played a little bit of Immortals Phoenix Rising. If you saw my review of that game, it combined a lot of aspects of platforming and combat and certain challenges, but it never really synergized them in that kind of way, and I hope Kirby will do that, because the closest thing I got to it, I guess, was Odyssey, but there wasn't really that much direct combat in Odyssey, but with Kirby it looks like there may be, so I hope that does become part of the game. This looks so good. I think that Kirby has needed this for a long time. Like, we got Star Allies before this. Everyone was really disappointed with it. Like, it was fine, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking. And like, all these other series have been getting these crazy, now huge jumps for their, like, we saw Odyssey, like I mentioned before, and Breath of the Wild, and now we're gonna get Pokemon Legends Arceus, which should be coming in January. And everyone was like, what's Kirby gonna get? It's a big Nintendo series, it deserves something. And so here we are. Kirby is finally getting his due diligence, and he's getting this amazing new game that's gonna release sometime next year. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Next, we got a little information on Metroid Dread, which I'm not going to talk about because I'm going to probably review Metroid Dread in a few weeks when it releases, so I'm not going to talk about that right now. But after that, we got an update for Nintendo Switch Online. There is going to be some new consoles supported on their Virtual Console library, I guess is what it's called. They're adding N64, which everyone saw coming, but then Genesis. I'm not mad about this in any way, but I just think it was an odd pick. Like you have Game Boy right there, or even GameCube. Like, I don't know why they would choose to go for Genesis, especially when they would need licensing for that. But I guess that was what they decided to go with, and I'm not too mad about it. The one thing I thought was weird, though, for the Genesis lineup, there is Sonic 2, but no Sonic 1 included. That does not make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, I know Sonic 2 is widely regarded as a better game, but I still think if you're going to have a Genesis lineup, you should still have the original Sonic game in there. Maybe Sega didn't want to bite on the licensing or something like that, but to me, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The N64 lineup, on the other hand, is awesome. We got a lot of big games coming up at launch. We've got Super Mario 64, which was interesting that they chose. I mean, obviously, it's an iconic 64 game. It's going to be on there, but it was weird that they chose to put it on there after the 3D All-Stars collection, released. And, but yeah, I'm happy that Mario 64 is there. Then we're getting Ocarina of Time, which I'm personally very excited for. I think Mario Tennis is going to be on there at some point. What else? I think Paper Mario is coming at some point. Mario Golf will be there soon. What else? Majora's Mask is coming soon, which I'm also very, very excited for. I've been wanting to play both Ocarina and Majora for a very long time, so I'm very happy that I'll finally get that opportunity. And So yeah, I think both of the lineups look very, very stacked, and I'm ready for these games to finally be accessible to myself. They are also going to be releasing controllers like they did for the NES and Super NES. The 64 controller, I'm probably not going to buy either of these, but they look really cool. They look like they're well done. That's cool. The one thing I am a little nervous about with this package is pricing, because they are saying that it's going to be an upgrade to Switch Online that you do have to pay for. It's going to cost more, and I don't know what they're going to price it at. It's because Switch Online for a year right now is about $20, and so if they doubled the price, that would be ridiculous to me. Like, I don't see them marking it up by 100%. That would be crazy. But yeah, so there's also a certain threshold that if you get beyond it, people are not going to want to buy it. But you also have to make it high enough that people will, like, that you will still make a lot of profit off of it. I mean, I'm guessing they're probably gonna increase the price by 50%, so like maybe $30, 35 tops, because the family plan now currently costs $35. I wouldn't guess that they would make the expansion pass pricing higher than the current family plan, because to me, I think the family plan gives you much more value, and so I don't think they're going to price it higher than the regular family plan. So hopefully it's not too expensive, but we're going to have to wait and see, because they did not announce that. I mean, there's always the chance that they don't know what they're going to price it at yet, but I'm guessing that it's not going to be more than $35. I don't think for a single person it's going to exceed $35. Next big announcement was the Mario movie voice cast, and to me I know Nintendo's has a lot of money, but this voice cast is something else. You've got Chris Pratt voicing Mario, Jack Black voicing Bowser, Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele voicing Toad, and Seth Rogen voicing Donkey Kong. That is those are 4 big time actors right there. And I don't know how much of a role Toad is going to have in this movie, but my guess is it's not going to be huge. My guess is Toad, the last movie I remember seeing with Keegan-Michael Key, and it was Toy Story 4, when he was with Jordan Peele, and so they didn't have that big of a role. I mean, they were very funny, and I don't think the movie would have been the same without them, but I imagine Toad's not going to have much bigger of a role than they did. But to me, I think it's just crazy that they've got this stacked of a cast for this movie. And in regards to the movie, I personally have zero expectations for this movie. I know that's kind of sad, but this movie it's made by Illumination, and I have a feeling it's gonna be a cringe fest. Illumination is very well known for being a terrible movie animation studio, at least when compared to the likes of Pixar and Disney and DreamWorks. And obviously they weren't going to get Disney or Pixar to do this animated movie, because that would just be crazy. But I feel like they could have gone with someone like Sony Pictures Animation, or I guess maybe not Sony. Maybe not Sony. But I think maybe they could have gone with DreamWorks. I just don't know if Illumination doing this movie sets it up for success. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be fun. At least hopefully they don't screw it up. I'm just hoping they don't turn Toad into a new version of the Minions. I will be so sad for my boy Toad if that's what they do to him. But it's not coming out for a while, and so we don't have to worry about it for some time. So, but in other things that are happening in 2022, we got some more information about Splatoon 3, which Nintendo is developing and publishing themselves. Splatoon 3 looks really cool. I think the new dystopian setting looks really awesome. I don't know if it's technically a dystopia, but in the original trailer, they showed the Inkling going from a desert into a big city. And so I didn't see anything like it seemed like it was kind of like a dystopia to me, at least. And it seems like this game is going to have more of a focus on single player, and to me this is indicated by the fact that they're so heavily focused on the setting in this game. Like, they've only shown us that one setting, and I have a feeling that they're going to care a lot more about the environments in Splatoon this time around because of that focus on single player content, which I'm looking forward to. I think a game, if it's online, if it's fun online, it's cool, but if it's got a good single player content to keep me coming back on just by myself, that makes a game really, really good to me. So I'm hoping that Splatoon does deliver on that single player content, and just based on the way they've played the setting and the way they're talking about the new focus on single player, it seems like they're set up to deliver on that promise. So I'm looking forward to this game. I'm hoping to, because I didn't play Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 1, so I'm hoping that this will be a good introduction to the series for me. And the last announcement of the Direct was a big one. It was Bayonetta 3, which we've all been waiting for a very, very long time. And it was great to finally see a proper trailer for it. The setting looks great. The visuals look great again. Everything looked really crisp in this Direct, I will say. I don't think there was any game that looked poor in terms of the visuals. And I think the mechanics look like they're going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Typical Bayonetta stuff. And this time I think they're going to make it so the monsters you summon from like the underworld, you can actually control them, I think is what I read, that it's going to be like that this is a new kind of type of battle, which I think is going to be really fun to turn it into like a platform fighter for certain parts of the game. It feels like it's going to have very varied gameplay. And I think that's going to be very beneficial to this game staying fresh, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. We haven't gotten much on the game, just rudimentary gameplay, and that's the part with the demon. And so yeah, even though we haven't seen much, I'm very excited for it, and it looks very, very good. So yeah, I think that about wraps up everything I wanted to say about this Nintendo Direct. I hope you enjoyed listening to this video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, please do subscribe. It does help very much. If you would like to request some kinds of videos that you might want to see, be sure to put them in the comments. And I'm probably not going to be releasing a video till Metroid Dread releases. I'm planning to review that, hopefully. And I will hopefully also be releasing a video more comprehensively breaking down what is in store for Nintendo in 2022. So you guys can look forward to that stuff coming soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.